Hello friends, we are continuing with the series of videos on how to use HPC at IUAC. This is the tutorial 2. We will discuss about the login node, the very basic concept to use the HPC. Here, you have to know something about SLURM, SLURM. You know, this is the thing that decides who gets to use which computers in the HPC, when and how long on a cluster, etc. And in the full form of SLURM, that is SLURM, is simple Linux utility for resource management. Now, think when you log into the HPC, you log into a login node. That is what the dollar prompt you will see the first, and and inside that there are compute nodes where the real work is going to run. So slum is like a traffic cop deciding, you get 48 CPUs on node for 2 hours, or you will get one GPU on node B for 30 minutes. This kind of things this utility can decide. Now, what slum does is actually it queues jobs for many users, allocates CPUs, GPUs, memory, and nodes, and starts and stops jobs, etc., and make sure users don't step on each other, etc., etc. Now, for example, just to get started with, as soon as I just try to log into the uh, Param Rudra, like we are already logged in. In the first video, this is what we discussed. You using a putty client, you are logged in, and if you suppose you want to run a slum command, and the first command you have to learn is called srun. So I have stored some srun commands in this login node. That is that I am going to bring that out. Something like this. This is just I have just typed out something called, I have created a script called start all to execute so many things, but I am not right now. I am interested in only srun command, so I am not going to run the start all. I will run that later to show you. See, for example, I want to, let's say, when I do this srun command, you can see that what it is going to do. It is going to give you srun one node, n minus 1 means one node give me, and how many cores, 48 cores in one node, and also one GPU give me. So one CPU GPU combination you will get it. So that is what it is. And this is just the shell. So you can see that the GPU allocated to you is RPGU GPU 23. Now if I give the command lscpu and I give, you see that in the CPU what are the, each CPU, how it looks like, it's a 48 core CPU. It's all seen here. Now coming back to that command which we executed, that is srun command. So that means you are getting a GPU partition, and if I want, let's say, So you are right now into a CPU plus GPU node by executing this command. You're getting a CPU plus GPU. Now, suppose I log out of this, where if I log out or exit or something, where it will come out, it will come back to the login node. This is called login node, and this is called when you are getting into the compute nodes. Actually, next one. So to get into the compute nodes, you use the command called srun. Remember that. For example, again I am bringing back that srun command. See that this is the command in which, suppose I say, instead of a GPU partition, let's say I am asking for a CPU partition. SRun -1, that means one node you give me 48 CPU partition. Suppose, then as we discussed earlier, the command was like this. When I execute SRun -1, this one, this means you request for one GPU and one CPU of 48 cores, and these are few SLURM commands which are very important. But before coming into that, we will explore this. Suppose we want only this particular thing, that is like -p CPU, that's all. We are not interested in any GPU. So you can say that here. So in CPU, that's all. Say like this. You can only need CPU, and then you have to have -pty. That is also part of that. -pty. This much is also required. The shell is also required. If I do this now, you see that at the login prompt, I have executed this. So you have been allocated a CPU. CPU name is RPCN059. Earlier, when we asked for a GPU plus CPU node, that was the command was srun -1 minus n one node, 48 cores, CPU partition. This is what here asking. Earlier, what we asked, if you want a GPU partition, you will put this GPU. That is what happened earlier. Now, see, there actually you are getting a prompt, a GPU prompt. Now we are getting a CPU prompt. So now we are only in a CPU. So here you can execute commands. You can write a C++ program, etc. You are not supposed to run applications or write programs on the login node. If you are having a CPU based application, go into the CPU mode. Otherwise, you can go into a totally a GPU mode. You can go into a totally a GPU mode by giving, see this is how you are going into a GPU. See that from you are already in the CPU, and if you want a GPU, you would have given this command srun - and this is, since we are already in a CPU, and from the login node only you have to execute this command. You should not execute this command from the CPU node. Remember that actually. That is what is very important. So that's all in this video. See you in the next video.